Hello everybody, welcome back to the Blocks and Bricks podcast, the show where we interview your favorite Minecraft and LEGO YouTubers. Today we are joined by Piffin380.
Hello.
Just for the people who may not know, would you like to introduce yourself and kind of in basic what you do?
Oh yeah, sure. So, Minecraft YouTuber, like you could probably expect. I think how I've always described it is I try to make stories, like videos about stories. So, for example, like if I record like, I don't know, for example, the video I'm working on right now, like a UHC type thing, I could just have it be a UHC, but for me it's always so much more interesting if it's a story. So I just try to weave stories into everything. So that's kind of what I would say my channel is. It's just a bunch of short stories pretty much.
Yeah, that's a really awesome way of putting it. I have in my notes here that I actually wanted to talk to you about that later. I think the majority of people, myself included, probably discovered you from Fan Life series, either that or the other series that you've done. I'm really curious, just to like start things off, like where the Fan Life series stuff came from. I also want to talk about the other things later and more in depth, so I'm kind of trying to get this out of the way. But like, Fan Life series was a big thing of yours for a long time, right?
Right.
I mean,
yeah. I mean, just like around.
Yeah. So how did you get into that?
Right. So basically, back in the day, it was a few years ago, but like there was the Grian Third Life. I remember. I say Grian because that was the one I watched. Also, I guess he was the one that made it in the first place. But I was a big fan of that when it came out. And then like Last Life came out, and I was still a fan of it. I remember Double Life coming out. But all of those, like I enjoyed watching it, but it was just kind of like any other Minecraft series that I would watch. But when Limited Life came out, there was just something special about it. I still don't fully understand what it was, but that's probably the most I've looked forward to like any media ever in my entire life. I still don't know what. It was just like lightning in a bottle, I guess, because like that's never really been recreated for me. But there was just something about Limited Life that I was just addicted to. I think I watched like 6 different POVs or something. I probably spent way too much time watching that, and I'd like look forward to it all throughout the week. And around that time, I think it probably was halfway through Limited Life, I wanted to like see what people were saying about it. So I had Reddit, but I don't ever use Reddit. But I was like, no, I'm gonna see if there's like a life series Reddit. So I look up and I'm like, oh yeah, there is. Let me go look around and see what people are saying about it. And I find this one random Reddit post that's just like, hey, anyone down to try to do a like life series but as fans, like unofficial? And I was like, that seems interesting, but like realistically probably nothing will come of that. So I decided not to do anything. And then when I was going to sleep that night, I like halfway asleep, I just randomly remembered it, and I was like, I mean, it wouldn't hurt to like comment on it just in case something happens with it. And turns out that's what led to Chief Life. So it's like just like a 1 in a million chance of like everything happening to like Limited Life, then go onto Reddit, then see that Reddit post, and then not go to sleep and comment on it, and it to actually become something. And there was a ton of people there. Fun fact, the original person that made that Reddit post wasn't even in Chief Life. They ended up leaving the Discord. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, from there on, that's kind of where I expanded out. And there was more like stuff later on how I went into other sects of the community. Like Blake asked me to sub in something, and I kind of got into Eternal Life and stuff. But yeah, that's like the main way I actually began live series.
Yeah, that's awesome. As so as a fellow person, Limited Life fan, Limited Life is also my favorite series ever. It's kind of weird to think about how the timelines work out, because Limited Life was the first life series season I watched as it came out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's kind of interesting, with the timeline there. And yeah, I feel like that is really interesting. It's just like fate had it line up exactly perfectly for it all to work out, and then look at how it ended up.
And I won't go into this now. Maybe you have a question later on where I can go into it. But the almost exact same like 1 in a million thing happened with Molehunt, which ended up becoming like the biggest thing on my channel, which is also just like it's. I do
want to talk about Molehunt. Molehunt is really great. I think first let's go a little bit further down the timeline if you're willing,
right.
with the life series stuff, especially because I know, fake fan, I want to talk about Silent Life 2 because I didn't actually watch Silent Life 1.
Wow, I can't believe it.
I'm sorry.
There's probably a lot of stuff that made no sense if you just watched the second one.
Well, I watched it after. I just like, oh, Silent Life, that sounds interesting. But I had been watching you before that, though, don't worry. Just not Silent Life. Anyway, yeah, I like, what happened after that then? Because clearly something with the Fan Life series activated something in you, because you kind of went crazy on it. I mean, you're not a sweat, right?
I like to say I'm not a sweat.
Yeah, I'm aware. But I think some other people might consider you that. And at the very least, you are a very good player.
Right, okay.
You
So,
kind of explained.
Cheap Life Season 1 happens, and I had some of the most fun in my entire life, like editing that, recording it. Met a ton of cool people, like almost, like, I mean, half of the people I interact with in this community come from Cheap Life. And it kind of like, I had always wanted to do something like Cheap Life on my channel, because like I said, I'm always trying to do these stories, and for me, Life Series creates such a good outlet for stories, because it's pretty much, you know, like 6 or 7 or maybe 8. Also, I did not mean to say that on purpose, sorry. There's gonna be like some random guy that comments 6, 7 at that timestamp. But anyways, you know, some amount of episodes. It's almost like a series, right? It's like a freaking Netflix series or something, where you get all these episodes, and if you play it for story and are trying to get a story out of it through your editing or your like the playstyle or whatever, you can normally get almost like an actual season. And I just love that about it. So I kind of started trying to go all in on that story, because season 1, I was kind of playing a little more, you know, I guess sweatily. I don't even know if that's a word, I don't think it is, but so after season 1, Double Discount happened. Double Discount was a little weird. That's probably the worst series I played. But we come back really hard with Limited Time Offer, which is one of the best series I played. And I think that's when I really started trying to introduce story into my videos. You can see I have these little lore segments, and even if they don't really lead to anything, you can see the seedlings of me trying to implement more story into my videos. And like I said earlier, I think I was in math class. I was just kind of in math class. I'd done all my work. I was just on my phone, get a random notification. I have my notifications to like message requests now, but back then I didn't really. There weren't enough people messaging me for that to matter. So it's just like some random guy DMs me. I'm like, what is this? Balake52. Some guy I'd never heard of, and he's like, hey, do you want to sub? I know he's like, I don't know. I know I don't know you, but do you want to sub for me in the live series I'm playing? And I was like, not really, but like, it was just like something's telling me I should say yes. So I was like, sure, I guess. And ended up subbing for him, meeting Blake, and Blake is like one of my best friends in the community now. And not only that, but that got me into this whole other side of Life series that I didn't even know existed, which got me into what Rip-Off Last Life, eventually Silent Life, like you're talking about, all these other series. And I met like all these new people. I met Colin, I met Cake, I met like the other half of the people I know, basically. And yeah, eventually Silent Life happens, Silent Life 2 after that. So it was pretty much just like that initial joining one community, and then eventually I kind of branched out to this other community, and that's kind of where all the Life series came from.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Yeah, I feel like the Fan Life series community is actually like really weirdly complex. And like,
yeah, it is. There's all these different sects and everything.
I'm just scratching the surface of it. I'm like, this is a lot of people. I didn't know there were this many people into this thing. Yeah, that's pretty fun. I kind of want to touch on something that I forgot to say earlier. I assume, what's your favorite POV of Limited Life? Is it like one of the bad boys?
Limited Life. It's gotta, maybe this just because this is yeah, it's Etho. It has to be Etho. Ethos is so good in Limited Life. It's just, that was the one I always watched first. It's just, oh my gosh, it's so good.
Were you Etho in the one thing, or was
I was in the recreation? I forgot about that.
That's how I discovered you, is the Limited Life finale recreation. That's the first video of yours I ever saw. I was kind of, was that like soon after Limited Life, or did you guys just do that randomly a long time after?
Year after, I think it was a random like occurrence.
That's kind of funny, but I heard, I think maybe it was a stream one time, I heard that you're maybe not the biggest fan of the newer live series seasons, the actual ones.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much to it. It's just, I think it's just kind of that spark has burnt out a bit. I'm not saying the new live series are necessarily bad. It's just kind of that I've grown out. I'm saying grown out like it's like a thing for kids. I mean, I guess it is with Minecraft, but it's just kind of, you know, my interests in content have changed and switched, you know? So it's just, I don't think it's horrible. I don't think it's as good as it used to be, but I think it's just kind of gotten old for me.
Yeah. I think that there definitely is a smidgen bit of fatigue. It's almost like how you hear people talking about Marvel movies. It's like, oh, superhero fatigue or whatever, like life series fatigue. There has been a lot of them. I personally feel like they recaptured that magic with Past Life, but that's just my opinion. But I do think it's interesting because whereas some people, especially in this community, kind of are like, yeah, it's the live series and then the fan live series. It kind of feels like you're like, oh, the live series is a special thing, and then you made it your own. Because I don't see many people doing what you're saying, making it a story. And it's like, it's not... I don't want to be like, oh yeah, it's way better to make it a story, because it's just different. But
yeah, it's just different.
It's just different. I think there's a different kind of art to the storytelling ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have to agree with that. I think, like you said, I think if you want to just be full PvP or full whatever, that's completely fine. Like, if you want to play it and the people around you are cool with that, go for it. Like, why not? You can still make some amazing content out of that. But for me personally, and for a lot of the people I've, like, surrounded myself with, it's just, like, you can just connect to, like, the emotions through story. And it's, like, so weird because, like, using Minecraft as a format is such a silly game. Like, look around us. It's all these blocks and, like... It's so stupid, but you can actually get appeals to emotions. Like, my biggest, like, what's the word? Like, whenever someone comments, like, either, like, this video made me feel, or I even had people comment, like, I've cried. Like, this video made me cry, which is just, like, that's such a big compliment to me, I guess. Because, like, if I was able to make someone feel that strongly with freaking Minecraft, like, that's just an amazing feeling. And I feel like, for me personally, at least, that exceeds any, like, cool play I did or, like, a cool kill I got. Like, to me, being able to appeal that heavily to someone's emotions is, like, just a whole other level of, like, I don't know, but, like, it just feels great, I guess. It might sound weird saying it feels great to make people cry, but I think you know what I mean.
No, I do understand what you mean, and this is something that I actually love talking about, like, in real life. I don't think I've talked about it on my channel much, but, like, I feel like storytelling as a medium is at its best whenever it can make you feel feelings. Like, I've had people look at me weird when I tell them this. I'm like, I love it when a book or a movie makes me feel feelings, even if they're not positive feelings. I'm like, it's just, it's incredible whenever something like that can have such an impact on somebody. And I think that's really cool that you can recognize that.
Mm-hmm, definitely, yeah.
That does lead me into a question that I had, though, is it's like, did you ever have an interest in filmmaking or storytelling in general? And, like, where did that, do you think you can, like, pin down where that came from? Your interest in that?
So, with storytelling, I've pretty much, as long as I have been alive, I've been a storyteller to some extent. Like, I remember when I was in, like, first grade, and first to, like, 5th, 6th grade, I would do these things I called paper games with some of my friends from elementary school, where it was basically, I don't know if you know Dungeons and Dragons, it was basically that before we knew what Dungeons and Dragons was, but with, like, paper. So basically they'd have these characters and, you know, like, all this stuff. And I would also write a lot back then. I don't write much now. Sometimes I try to dabble in it, but I don't do it too much anymore. Mainly, I guess this is my new storytelling, you know, format for the most part. But yeah, I think for as long as I've lived, I've pretty much been a storyteller to some extent. I used to, speaking of Dungeons and Dragons, I used to be a DM. Haven't done that in a few years, but I had a lot of fun with it when I did. And for filmmaking, I always have had some interest in filmmaking, but I haven't really tried it much outside of, I guess, Minecraft. You know, I researched some, like, film techniques to implement in my videos, but I haven't really done it, like, outside of that, I guess.
And, like, I don't know, did you ever consider, like, doing that as a thing? Like, when you were a kid, where you were like, hey, it would be cool to storytell professionally, or was it always just for fun for you?
It's pretty much just for fun, to be honest. I never really was like, oh, this can be my career or anything. It was just kind of like, yeah, I enjoy doing this, so I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear the different forms of mediums, because like I feel like when you talk to any creative person, they're going to have a story or a way that they told stories, like as they grew up. For me, it was Lego. Lego characters are awesome. Paper apparently. I've never heard that one before. Yeah. But I can imagine it. It sounds pretty cool.
It was so fun. I'm gonna be so honest. I still have some of them just like in my closet, and I just look at, because it's just basically like 50 sheets of paper with like maps drawn out and all these like numbers of us like calculating stats and everything. Like,
that's crazy. So it literally was just like Dungeons and Dragons. That's pretty so much, fun.
Yeah, it was basically our version of it.
You guys invented Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, a very poor version, but yes.
No, that's awesome. With your cinematic editing though, I'm curious if you can like walk through your like thought process when you go to edit. Both with the storytelling part of it, because maybe that's a good place to start. With the storytelling, does the story of it come together afterward, during, or before for you? Do you like try to premeditate anything, or is it improv, or do you just kind of try to find the thread afterward?
Interesting, I would say all of those, because for example, Silent Life 2, I think Silent Life 2 is one of my favorite stories I've told on my channel, and how I did that was even like half a year in advance, I knew what I wanted my intro to be, and I had an idea for what I wanted the ending to be. And you can kind of see that when you watch it, because you can see from the very first minute of the first video, there is stuff that fully connects to the last minute of the last video, and that is all like purposeful. That was all planned out. There's a lot of stuff in between that also does that to try to, you know, kind of make a exoskeleton. But there's only so much with something as like chaotic and random as Life series. There's only so much you can plan out beforehand, and I've learned that through like trial and error. Like back in the old Chief Life days, I remember I was like, I really want this to happen this session. I'd like write a whole plan for the session, and it never went according to plan, because that's just how stuff is when you're not doing like scripted content. So yeah, I have this like little exoskeleton for something to fall back on, but actually during it there's a ton of improv. I still have ideas for how I might want stuff to go, like if you remember me like jumping Aqua to give him like practice in I think session 3, that was planned out before. I knew I wanted to do that before. But for example, stuff like the conversation Aquaplane and I had right before that of course there's no way I could have predicted that, but it plays perfectly into it. So you kind of just have to have these ideas and, you know, improv your way and kind of try to connect them and thread a needle through all of them. And then afterwards, of course, through whether it be replay shots, like a random lore scene you throw in, or just like, you know, sometimes for Silent Life 2, I had this like text on screen. You kind of can try to lead the viewer to see what you're trying to tell and kind of fill in any missing gaps, I guess. So yeah, it's just really from start to finish, you kind of have to be working on it if you really want to get a good story out of it. But it's fun. Yeah,
I think that's something that is really hard. I want to say it's really hard, but maybe, I don't know, Life series somehow lends itself really easily to having a complete story. It shouldn't. I don't understand how, but like even fan Life series, the main Life series and fan Life series just have a way of like creating such an actually good and complex storyline without planning any events.
Exactly.
I don't know. Someone needs to look into like how that's physically possible, because it keeps happening just over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm. I think it's just with the players involved, if they all have a connection, are able to kind of go with whatever the wind takes them, I think they're able to make anything into something interesting. So I think that's why like having good people in your Life series or whatever you decide to do is just so important.
Yeah, dude. But I just want to mention that when you did jump Aquafic, you gave me a heart attack, dude.
Yeah, I knew people would get scared about that.
No, but the intro and cinematics for Silent Life 2 specifically were really, really cool with like how you planned them out. And personally, I find them like a really cool inspiration for how to like take a story and thread it through multiple things by having two, like it's kind of like two stories going at once, but then they combine. and that way you can tie everything together. You can do foreshadowing in a unscripted acted series.
And funnily enough, actually, there's a few times where I would throw in something that if it didn't happen later on, it would just be like a little interesting thing to look at, but it wouldn't really mean anything. But I'd put it there for the chance that it would happen later, so that when someone went back and watched it, it would actually be foreshadowing. But of course, like, I couldn't be sure it would happen. Like, I have this one replay shot, I think session 6, where I'm like, Aqua and I are pointing crossbows at each other, and like cuts out to this like bigger shot. And I was like, if Aqua and I ever like fight or kill each other for whatever reason, that would be amazing foreshadowing. And if it doesn't happen, it just still looks cool. So like, I just put it in there anyways. So there's a lot of little stuff like that as well.
Yeah, and I think so. That's kind of like the creating content side of it. But then like when you go to edit, I know you said like you bring some of the stuff back together for the editing to tell the story. But like, what does it look like when you go to edit? Do you have a flow? Do you have a step list? Both, like either and, like just for telling your story, or just like nitty gritty, like, oh yeah, this is how I edit. Like, is there anything special there? Because I feel like your editing is it's pretty top notch.
Thank you. A lot of the time, well, so basically, if I ever have a spoken part, like a voiceover or something, I have a Google Doc where I write all that stuff out, because I'm not too good at like speaking on the flow and have to do something like that. I know some people do. I don't know how they do it, but generally for that type of thing, I kind of will have ideas in my head as I'm recording it. So like, as I'm recording it, if I like do some cool thing or something, I'm like, ooh, I could do a cool replay shot for that. Like, I remember, speaking of Silent Life 2, when I did that triple cart kill in, I think session 5, I knew how I wanted to edit it as soon as I did it, like afterwards. So when I go to actually edit it, I can just be like, oh, okay, well, I know exactly what I want to do. And sometimes I even have the song choice like chosen out beforehand. But sometimes when I don't have that figured out, I kind of just try something, because if I know, like, I'm a big procrastinator. I know if I just try to plan every single little detail out, I'm never gonna get anywhere. So I just try something. Sometimes I'll just be like, this doesn't work, and I'll just delete it and try again. But sometimes it works, and sometimes I do it and I'm like, wait, this is good, but I could like change this part and make it even better. So it's kind of just a lot of, trial and error. And I think it's kind of brute forcing, but for me, it seemed to work. And maybe it'd be even better if I planned it out. But I think for me and whatever I'm doing, it works for that. So yeah.
No, I love that. That's really fun. I've had it a few times. I don't understand people who can talk like that either, dude. I come from video essays. That's what I've been doing for a year. No. Anyway, but I don't know. I'm very curious. Do you edit out of order then? Because that's what I've found myself doing. Is when I'm like, oh, this is gonna be cool, I go and edit that first. And then I kind of, depending on how important it is to the video, sometimes I contextualize the whole vibe of the video around that. I feel like that could be the case for you, but maybe I'm wrong.
Usually I don't, although in a few very specific occasions I do. For example, I don't know if you've seen these, but my Helix video that's like, I survived this apocalypse or something, I don't even remember. I had the intro and outro, those were the first two things I did. And then I kind of, everything in the middle I did, afterwards. I guess you could say Silent Life 2 is like that to an extent, because although I hadn't made the actual outro, I knew what I wanted it to be, because I assumed I wouldn't win, and I was right. But there's a lot of stuff like that where it's just kind of, I'd say most of the time, I kind of just do stuff in order, but it's not that I like am just kind of going like full random, but it's just kind of like I know what I want to do. I just don't have to do it yet. Like I have a picture in my mind of what I want it to look like. I just do it in order anyways, though, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And then when you do that, do you just like kind of remember in your head, oh, this is where I want to go with this? Or do you do you ever end up like touching up the beginning afterward? Or is it just as simple as going through?
Yeah, sometimes I'll definitely go back and change stuff if it doesn't fit the atmosphere anymore. Of course, it all just really depends on like what type of video it is, or like what I'm doing. Like something like Molehunt, where it's like that can just kind of be how it is. But something like Silent Life or something, I kind of have to. Sometimes I have to go back and change something because I want it to fit this certain atmosphere, and I really tried very hard to give Silent Life 2 a certain atmosphere, which you could probably tell if you watch that.
Yeah, Silent Life 2. See, I can't decide what I like more because my favorite's either Silent Life 2 or I actually forgot what it's called because I just called it Juice Life the whole time. But the thing that you did, yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I don't know why like in my head I was like telling my friends about it. I'm like Juice Life, and they're like,
No,
what?
that's not my favorite.
No, but like that one was really good, especially with the ending. And if you guys want to watch that, you should go watch it on Piffin's channel. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, let's since you mentioned it, let's go into Molehunt. For anyone unaware, what is Molehunt as a premise? First of all,
right. A lot of people describe Molehunt as Among Us in Minecraft. That's not exactly how I would describe it, but it's a good way to think about it. It's basically we usually have 8 or 9 players put into a world. 2 of them are secretly moles and are trying to eliminate all the other players, while the survivors have to try to figure out the moles and kill them. We also have a lot of twists, like we have a speedrun version, we have a teams version, which has 16 people. There's a lot of different variants, but, at its core, it's basically just try to figure out the mole, or if you are the mole, try to kill everyone else before they figure out you.
I see the Among Us comparison. I would maybe say Among Us times Manhunt, because it does have...
that's a fair way to put it.
I think that's slightly more accurate, giving it that little bit of vibes. But with that like little preface out of the way, dude, how did you come up with that idea? Did you come up with that idea? Where did it come from?
So, funnily enough, about a year before the first Molehunt even happened, I was just in like a VC with, I think it was me, Udtorn, Joey, and Axo, maybe a few other people. I don't really remember. It was a long time ago at this point. But we were just bored, and we're like, let's just like play Minecraft, but one of us was like trying to kill everyone else. And we played it, and it sucked. But like, it was just kind of a fun thing we did. And then a year later, I was actually live streaming in a VC with like 7 other people, and you can actually go back to that live stream. I think it's called just Molehunt on my channel. You can see us create Molehunt on live stream, which is just crazy. That like the biggest thing I've ever done on my channel, you can see be made like in real time. But yeah, it was pretty much just like I was thinking back to that old thing we had done, and with the help of the other people in the VC, we all kind of contributed and just made Molehunt on the spot. We coded it with command blocks in like 10 minutes, and then we just played it on stream, and we ended up having a lot of fun. So I made it a video, and it got like 300,000 views or something, and then that's where Molehunt came from.
Yeah, that's insane. Is it still run on command blocks?
No, not anymore.
Okay, I was like, that would be crazy.
Yeah. Big shout out to PM. He codes almost everything. Although Cake did the original Molehunt. He coded the original Cake C, but PM does most of the plugins on my channel. So big shout out to him.
So okay, this was my next question, but you answered it. What? Let's see. Was Molehunt a premeditated success, and why do you think it works? There we go. The second half of that.
Right.
Second half of that.
So the reasons I think it works is it's just I think it being a unique idea. As far as I'm aware, there's like Mole UHC from back in the day, which there's probably some subconscious inspiration from that, but generally, at least for this new, era of Minecraft, like the post 2020, it's a new idea that people haven't really seen before. Also, just like something about social deduction is just so fun to watch, in my opinion, at least. It's just so fun to see people try to figure out like who's lying. And also, if I'm the one lying, it's really fun to see me lying to other people to try to get them to trust me. I remember one comment from back in the day, I don't know why it stuck with me, but they were talking about, like, something about me, like, talking to, like, all my quote-unquote friends. I was the mole, so they weren't actually my friends, while, like, crafting TNT minecarts and, like, just having a fun conversation with them. While crafting minecarts, I just, like, blow them up within 20 minutes. So, just stuff like that. It's just really fun to see. Yeah, I think just all of that, and of course, a bit of luck, led to it being successful.
Did you think beforehand it was going to do as well as it was going to do?
No, not at all. I think like originally it was like a 8 out of 10 on YouTube Studio for the first week, and then just randomly decided to blow up for no reason. I think I was at school when it blew up, and I was just like, oh, okay, yep, sure. It was crazy.
Yeah, no, that is crazy. With Molehunt, like, what do you... because the first Molehunt, is it still the most... It's not the most popular, is it?
It's not the most popular anymore, no, it's not.
Because
for a long time, but...
Didn't the speedrunner one do better?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We did a speedrunner one, which at that point Molehunt kind of had a gradual fall off. Not really hard, like Molehunt was still doing better than anything else on my channel, but like a little gradual fall off. It wasn't doing as well as it used to. So I was kind of like, okay, sure. I mean, I'll make another Molehunt, but it won't do as well as it used to. And it got like 800,000 views. I remember I was on a vacation when it happened. So I just remember like being in the car and randomly checking my phone and just like, surely I'm not reading that number right. And I had to like reread it. I was like, shoot, okay, yeah, I just gained 1,000 subscribers in the past like 20 hours. Like, it was crazy.
Dang. Yeah, no, that's crazy. What do you with the twists and stuff like that? Well, first of all, is Molehunt something that you plan on continuing, right?
Yes, I actually recorded a Molehunt a few days ago. Probably won't make it into a video, but it might. It was interesting, but I don't know. I think I might skip on that one. But yeah, it is still happening, and we'll probably do more soon.
So wait, how have there been a large amount of Molehunts that just don't exist as a video?
I'd say probably 33% of Molehunts we record just get scrapped.
Wow, I did not realize that.
A lot of people back in the day used to be like, Molehunt must be scripted, Piffin's always mole, but it was like, no, it's because I'm scrapping the ones where I'm not mole and just die like a second in. So yeah. I
feel like that, like, I don't want to make comparisons too closely, but that is like kind of manhunty in the way that works. Yeah, that's it. That's actually broken my mind a little bit. I just thought that all of them were that good, and I'm like, I don't understand how he keeps making such good videos.
I will say, a lot of the scrap ones are also really good, but, maybe I just died in like a minute, and it's just like, it's not interesting for my POV at least. Yeah,
main character can't die.
Yeah, you can actually see, like, on, I think Dantum Plus's channel, maybe, I think LG unlisted a lot of his videos because he kind of wanted to rebrand a bit. But, you can see some of those other scrap Molehunts on other people's channels, and they're still pretty interesting, so yeah.
Yeah, has anyone's, out of curiosity, has anyone else's Molehunts, like, done as well? Because the only one I was familiar with was JDF's, and that one, yeah,
it's kind of just like an average video for him. I know the Devilish Ducks, his Molehunt videos did super well, but besides him, not really. It's kind of weird, because I always kind of thought that, like when other people did them as well, they would kind of, do super well. But for the most part, I mean, sometimes they do better than like their average video, but never blowing up like my original Molehunt did, except for Devilish. Devilish had he got like 12K views on his, which is like pretty good, but for him, he had like 200 subscribers or something, so it was really good for him.
Yeah.
But besides that, no, I don't think so.
That's interesting. So it doesn't really carry over like the life series spreading, like, because I feel like life series views, they kind of spread out more across the cast.
Yeah, definitely.
That's very interesting. So with that, I don't think it has much to do with Molehunt. But one thing that's very interesting, that was very sad to find out personally, was that you don't want to do life series content anymore.
Right. So,
why is that? Oh yeah.
Okay. So basically, the reason that I want to stop doing live series content is because I think it's run its course for me. I love live series for the story you can get out of it, but there's two main things. One, I think there's a certain amount of people on the internet who are interested in fan live series, and I think as the live series, like the fan live series community has near reached that capacity of getting as many people as they can get on board. Because, for example, people like Simon, who's one of the biggest people in this like community, he has like 2,000 subscribers or something, and his most popular video of all time, that's a live series video, has like 4,500 views or something, which isn't bad, of course, but it's like, you could expect so much more from that from like other YouTubers who have 2,000 subscribers. And something I realized is when I stopped doing live series and did Molehunt, it blew up. When Blake stopped doing live series and did a SMP video, it blew up. When JDF stopped doing live series and did the Truman Show video, it blew up. Like, I think live series just has a certain amount of viewers, like a capacity, and when it reaches that, it can't go too much higher. There's only so many people who are interested in fan live series, and I think to actually grow my channel and get as successful as I would want to get, because I'd love to do YouTube as a job, that'd be a dream come true. I think to get to that point, I need to branch out and try new things. And when I say I'm never doing live series again, I do kind of mean that. But also, I wouldn't be surprised if I did like a reunion live series in like 2 years or something. Like I don't think it's actually the end, but like it's a end, right? It's like the end of that period. And I probably won't be any live series for a long time. I don't think I'll ever do weekly live series again. Maybe I'll have some like the story of Ripoff Last Life type thing, but it probably won't even be marketed as a live series. It'll probably be marketed more as a different type of video to try to get a different audience.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the main reason is because I think I can do better content. I can do more interesting content, and I think it can do better as a whole.
Yeah. Okay, I've got so many things I want to say based off of that, and I have to try and remember them all. First of all, I want to say that I think that's very interesting, and that's something that I had noticed as well. And I actually talked to 15 about this for a good long while on a voice call one time, and we were like about the theoretical cap of live series content. And like for me personally, because I've just did my first live series, the finale's not out yet, it goes out on Saturday, but I kind of look at it and like I want to make it work because it shouldn't, and I'm kind of looking at it as a challenge. And I think but what's interesting is I think that you're right on the sense where that fan live series has that cap, which is also why it makes sense for you to not format it like a fan live series, because that's not what I'm doing either. Like, I don't think any of my episodes just say Nameless Life episode blank. It just it doesn't say that anywhere. And so I think it's really fascinating that, like, in theory, if something's good enough, it should be able to do better and better on YouTube. But YouTube is really weird in that sometimes with some niches, it literally does just cap them off.
And I think that's something that's happened with a lot of live series stuff. Like, another example, like Blake's Silent Life 2 finale is possibly, it's like, that's in my like top 10 YouTube videos of all time. Probably, and it did very well for his channel. It did super well, but it has like 5.5 thousand views, which is amazing. But it could be so much more. And based on what it is, it should have hundreds of thousands of views. But that's the thing with YouTube. So yeah.
Yeah. What's the college story summed up? If you're willing to say, because I really do want people. As long as you want people going there and watching the videos where you explain it, I want people going there for the story, right? But I do think there's something interesting because there's a balance, and I don't think many people understand. Oh, this is one of the things I wanted to say in that sentence. I feel like some people might be like, What do you mean you want to do it as a job? Piffin, you have 30,000 subscribers. Guys, that's not enough for a job. But some people might think it is. I think what's really interesting is the balance between the creative outlet of YouTube and the balance of real life. And I think it's something that you have experienced on a level not a lot of people have, and not a lot of people have heard about. Because I think people on the outside looking in don't really understand. But would you be willing to explain that a little bit?
So, I guess what you're asking is how do I balance real life and content?
And then,
okay,
I think that I personally really like the whole story of this like college thing that happened. I know all of it, or as much as you've shared, but like I think that might be an interesting thing to share, especially to get people interested in going to those videos as well, integrated in that.
Right. So yeah, basically for me, and like balancing stuff is, it could be really, really hard sometimes. I've talked about it in my Q&A on my channel as well as the second channel. And it sometimes can be really hard. You know, sometimes I've experienced a lot of burnout with videos. Like I remember I was seeing a lot of burnout during about the time of post Silent Life 2, and also I think the what was it, the second inverse video, the like armorless thing. And yeah, they can be very hard to deal with because with YouTube YouTube is trying to get you to post regularly because your channel will start doing better if you continuously post regularly. But then also, real life is making it so you can't do that, or it's very hard to do that. So, for example, I don't think I've posted in, a month and a half now? And I've been trying to record another video, but I have a lot of stuff going on in real life too. So it can be very hard to get stuff out. And it's definitely stressful. And sometimes it's like, it's just another stress of the life. But it's a thing that if I didn't enjoy doing it, I wouldn't be trying to do it. So even though it is the stressor, I think it is definitely worth it in the long run. Because I get a lot of satisfaction. And I mean, this is my, like, creative outlet, pretty much. Like, this is how I get the ideas in my head out of my head for the most part. So I think no matter how stressful it gets, I think it's still worth it. Even if I have to take a break at some point, which I guess I technically am now. And with college, that was obviously very challenging for me. And I've decided to take a gap year. And I think it's kind of funny because my whole video that I just put out was like, it was like, oh, I'm going to college. I can't play any more live streams because I'll be at college now. And obviously, I just instantly was like, oh, no, actually, no, I'm not at college. So I pretty much lied to everyone.
Oh.
So, yeah, basically, I take a gap year, and I want to... Obviously, I'm going to focus a lot on real life during this because I'm going to get a job. Because you can't really call YouTube a job, at least my current one. Like, yes, to some extent it is, but it's not a real job. It's not working 7 hours a day or whatever. So I'm going to try to get a job. Which is going to be a lot to manage with that in content creation. But I would also, in a perfect world, I really would like to go all in on content creation, like, through this gap year, to really see if I can just get it to take off. Because that would be amazing. But, obviously much easier said than done. But I really want to try to get something, maybe another Molehunt blow up, or a whole nother idea that can, be something else.
I think that's like something crazy on YouTube from a like literally statistical standpoint. YouTube has a thing, I don't know if you've heard of it. It's like the content radius, or the similar content radius thing. And it's like, it's basically YouTube's stupid AI figures out, hey, is this video similar to another video? And if it is, that video, if YouTube deems it too similar in style or pitch or whatever, it will never get more views than the original one that has that idea.
Oh, interesting.
Which is a really stupid thing in my opinion, because if it used to be you have to have a new idea or do it better, and I feel like it's kind of shifted into you have to have a new idea.
Right.
Because nobody likes automatic content detection. Get rid of that. But I think what's really annoying is that like it feels like the success story for YouTube now has to be, it doesn't matter like how creative or like good you are, it just has to be something that plays well to the algorithm so it can play enough ads for YouTube to be like, yeah, we want this to work. So yeah, it's frustrating. I have a personal thing that I've been noticing on YouTube lately, and it does scare me a little bit, and it started like a few weeks ago. I don't know if you've noticed this, but I really wanted to talk to someone about it. But every single Minecraft YouTuber that I'm subscribed to, almost all of them posted one Saturday, right? And all of their videos got less than 40,000 views. These people have more than 2 million subscribers. And I'm like, oh, wow. That's scary. That's not good.
That's interesting, yeah.
But there is some stuff with YouTube, like, potentially like lessening Minecraft content. It doesn't see it as popular as it was in 2020, so like potentially just showing it less, which would be not good.
Not good for us.
No, very bad. But yeah, I think that I enjoyed Juice Life and all the stuff with the college thing. I thought it was really interesting because from the outside looking in, like it's obviously it's not really any of my business, right? Because you're you and I'm just somebody watching. But it was really interesting to see like the choices that were being made, and I thought personally that it was really cool to see what values won out, because I think a lot of people might say, Piffin, look at where you are. It's not worth it to do real life stuff. It's not worth it to do college. But it is. That's the real life.
Yeah.
This is the fun stuff. That's the real life. That's what should be focusing on. And like, I don't want to say it in like a way, like this word feels wrong, but like I was impressed. I was like, oh, that's great.
No, I get that.
So, what does the future hold for Piffin? As much as you can say.
So, I have a few videos I would love to get out. Obviously, like I said, I've been a bit busy recently, so it's hard. But in a perfect world, I recorded Piffin Games 2, which, for those of you that don't know, basically it's basically Squid Games, but Minecraft. And I know that sounds dumb and stupid, but it's actually really fun, and I think it's some of my best. Well, the first one was one of my best videos ever, I think, because I put so much work into like making the map, making all the games, making all the code and everything, and then also like getting all the people, and then everyone does it, and it's all these, you know, life series creators, so they all make an amazing story out of the stuff that I gave them. And then I record it, use all the POVs, and make this big video out of it. And I recorded the second one. I haven't started editing it, but it's all recorded. It's an amazing story. The games are great, I think. And I think it was a ton of fun. I just need to actually, you know, edit it, which is scary, because last time it took me like 50 hours to edit it, and it's probably going to take longer this time. But, so that's a video I'd love to get out. Obviously, like I was mentioning, I have this UHC thing, which is the video I'm working on currently. Like, I made an intro for it last night, actually. I think that'll be a really great video, but to be honest, editing it, I feel like I'm a little washed in editing. Like, I feel like I need to get back on my footing, because I did the intro, and it's a fine intro. It's not bad, but it feels like, I mean, I'm just kind of out of practice. I'm edited in a month and a half, but I think it'll be fine. And then, I have another little mini series going on currently, which I'm actually gonna record part of tonight, which will hopefully be a big video when it's done. And finally, I guess Molehunt. And I was thinking of something. I'm not gonna actually say it yet, but it's basically, the idea would be re-editing one of my old videos, or I guess a lot of my old videos into one big video, which might sound like, okay, well, why would that be interesting? I've seen your old videos, but it would be really cool. But it would take so much effort. I don't know if I'll actually do it. I'm definitely gonna focus on other stuff first, but that's possible down the line, I guess. So yeah, those are the main things I've been working on.
Yeah, that sounds very exciting. It sounds like it's a good time to be a Piffin viewer.
Okay. Yeah, you have this big like month and a half of nothing, but hopefully I'll come back out of it stronger. And we'll get
it's the quiet before the storm of absolute like amazing content.
That's what I hope.
Well, before we do an outro and stuff, you might notice that behind you there's a shulker box.
I did notice that.
Yeah. Would you like to?
Should I take it out?
Yeah. Take your stuff and organize it as you like.
Are we possibly fighting?
Well, you'll just have to see, you know? Oh, well, Piffin, thank you for joining us on this episode of the Blocks of Bricks
Thank you for having me. I
podcast. Would you like to Oh, that's crazy. Would you like to promo anything before you go?
Promo anything?
Yeah.
Go, if you have Spotify or Apple Music, look up Time's Up by Piffin380. I think it's actually just Piffin. Go listen to my album. It's not that good, but I have a new album that I'm working on, and it's gonna be even better. So you can be one of the early fans. Is it
instrumental or is it
yeah.
vocal?
I don't sing.
Okay. I was like,
it's like ambient. It's mainly ambient, but my next album's gonna be better. My next album's post rock, which is cooler.
That's cool.
So if you like ambient or post rock, or just want to hear it, go listen to it.
And then obviously Piffin's channels will be in the description. His main channel, his second channel. So you guys should definitely go. You should go check him out because he makes really cool stuff.
Thank you. Also, make sure you subscribe to Blocky52 because I'm a Blocky52 glazer and I have to promote his channel.
Go do that as well. You know what? For the heck of it, I'm not gonna link him in the description.
What?